Hello everyone, good morning. Myself Murlitha Reddy. I'm a DevOps consultant and solution architect. Now we are going to discussing about what is SonarQube. Let's see that. So for that one, right here we have a Techworld with Murali GitHub repository DevOps 0 to Hero, and you can go to the day 13. That is a SonarQube, and here you can see that what is SonarQube. Remember, SonarQube is an open source platform for continuous inspection for code quality. So using this SonarQube, right, we can do the code quality analysis, static code analysis. Okay, using this SonarQube, it helps developers identifying bugs, code smells, vulnerabilities, and also security issues in their code base. And also it will be support multiple programming languages. It will support almost 25 plus programming languages support to generate the report, SonarQube report. And also we can integrate with CI/CD pipeline, ensure high quality code. Okay, understand that? And coming to the key features, right? One is code quality tool. SonarQube helps in maintaining code quality and code security, and also open source. As I said, it is freely available for under open source license with options for commercial support and enterprise features as well. Example, if you want, you can use the open source community edition one, or in case if you required more features, right, we can go with the commercial support and enterprise related one. Okay. And also it will support the languages support. It will support, as I said, 25 plus languages, including Java, Python, C, C++, JavaScript, TypeScript, PHP, everything. Okay. And the default port number is SonarQube default port number is 9000. And the current LTS version, long-term support version is 9.9.6. 9.9.6. And Java version at least required either Java 8 or 11 to install our SonarQube to up and running. Okay. Understand that these are the features majorly it is providing. And coming to the system requirements, we required minimum 4 GB RAM and also 2 CPU memory. So 2 CPU required. 2 CPU and 4 GB RAM we required to install SonarQube and up and running. Here you may ask question, Murli, if I take 1 CPU and 2 GB RAM, it will work. Usually it will run, but sometimes immediately it will be stopped. It will go to the stop state because of CPU and memory doesn't, not much required. Okay. Not available, not much required, not available. Okay. Understand that? And coming to the disk space, right, depends on our use cases will be, but when you are practicing, at least you can select 100 GB. That is fine. Okay. Clear this system requirements. And coming to that plans and pricing part. As I said earlier, we'll be having that multiple plans and also community edition. This is totally free. You can use it. But usually like this community edition will be provide the basic features. And also it is usually suitable for open source projects and also small teams. It will be useful this particular community edition. And coming to the developer edition, it will be start with $500 per year and for up to 5 million lines of code. Okay, usually right in the SonarQube, it will be depends on LOC. Lines of code, it will be charged. Example, if you purchase 1 million lines of code, 2 millions, 5 millions, 10 millions, depends on that one, it will be calculated. Example, you run that, you have one Java application that is a user registration. Example, I'm telling. You run that, you generated the report. In that particular application, how many lines of code is there? Example, 500 lines of code. Similar to if you have multiple, if you run it right, it will be count. SonarQube, it will be count the number of lines. And also here you can see that this particular developer edition, it will be provide that advanced features, including deeper analysis, additional programming languages, and also branch analysis, it will be provided. Usually this developer edition, it will be ideal use for like small to medium sized teams. Okay, understand right? Fine. And coming to that another one, enterprise edition, it will be start with $20,000 per year, up to 20 million lines of code. And usually it will be provide a lot of features including portfolio management, security reports, and the larger LOC support as well. And also it is designed for medium to large enterprises. Usually depends on project. We will be using either developer and also enterprise edition. Okay. Now here you can see that final one is data center edition. Here you can see the custom pricing, and also you need to reach out to that SonarQube team. Depends on your requirement. They will be give that exact info. Okay. And also it will be provide all features for the enterprise. Whatever features are coming in this enterprise edition, right? Including that plus high availability, performance at scale, and advanced support options also it will be provided. It is usually best for larger organization with high demand for reliability and performance. Okay, understand? These are the pricing and plans available. Remember one thing, in real time, we use either developer edition or enterprise edition, depends on use cases. We won't be use the community edition. Don't tell in the interview level also community edition. But in our case, I'm going to show you installation SonarQube. There, the process is same only. Either it is community edition or developer edition or enterprise edition, all same only. Only one small change is right. Once installation is completed, you have to provide that server ID. So you have to provide the server ID to that team, SonarQube team. They will be activated their side, so that automatically our those features will be applicable here. Apply automatically here. Okay, understand, right? Again, I'm repeating, guys. Again, I'm repeating, depends on use cases, will be use it. Okay. And also, if you want to be see the exact pricing details, everything, you can have a look this documentation. This is usually sonarsource.com official website. And here you can see that all the plans, whether you require a cloud-based or self-managed one. If you see that self-managed one, and here you can see that it will be start from $500 for the developer one. And the enterprise is, we need to talk with them, and also data center also, we need to talk with them. And also we have cloud-based as well. And here you can see that free for developer wanting that, and also team, here we can see that $32 per month, and also enterprise also, we can see it here. Okay. Depends on our use cases, we will be choose and we will be purchase and will be implement in the organization level. Usually, mostly will be use the self-managed one only, because in real time, we may install SonarQube in the EC2 instance, or we may run it as a container. Okay, depends on use cases, we'll be do that one. We won't be depend on, hosting in the cloud, especially for SonarQube, Nexus, JFrog, these things. Okay, any questions now? You understood, right? What exactly SonarQube? Okay, what are the features are providing, and also what are the plans available? What are the system requirements? Everything. Later, I will show you how do we set up, how do we install the SonarQube, step-by-step process, everything. I will show you later part. Okay, any questions now? Now, we are going to discussing about installing SonarQube on Linux. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right, here we have a techworldwithmurali GitHub repository. There we have DevOps 0 to hero. Okay, and here we can see that day 13 SonarQube. Now you can click this one, and then here we can see that I already written that installation, accessing part, and the integrating with RDS as well. First, we can go with the installation part. Okay. Now here you can click this one, and then if you see here, we are going to install the SonarQube 8.9.10. That is community edition version. Okay, for that one, right, we required root privileges, and also we need a 2 CP and 4 GB memory server, and also we are going to use the Amazon Linux 2023. Okay, for that one, right, you can go here. First, I'm going to create that instance, launch instance, and then here I will be launch the instance, and here I'm giving that SonarQube. Okay, SonarQube server, and then SonarQube server, and then here I'm selected Amazon, and here I can see that Amazon Linux 2023, and then here most important, guys, if you are installing SonarQube T2.micro, it won't be work. So every time it will be immediately stop. That's why at least you require 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM. For that one, I'm taking here T2.medium. Okay, I'm taking here T2.medium, 2 CPU and 4 GB RAM. Okay, and then here I'm selecting that key pair is infra, and here you can select that infra. And here most important, usually all the DevOps related tools in real time will be creating the infra VPC. Example, here we have a infra VPC. In this infra VPC only we'll be creating. And the second thing is here subnet, right? Usually in real time, DevOps related tools will be install in the app subnet. But in our case, right, app subnet is a private one, but currently we don't have any client VPN or Cisco. That's why what you have to do, I'm going to create in the public subnet. We can able to access without VPN and client VPN and Cisco. Okay, but remember in real time DevOps, any DevOps tool will be creating the private only. It means like app subnet. Okay, now you can select that public subnet one be, and here you can see that auto assign public IP enable, and here most important, here I'm going to give it SonarQube -SG. Okay, now you can give it here. Just I'm declaring here, and here most important, in our case our server is Linux, right? That's why we need to enable the port number SSH, and then here you can see the port number 22, and here we gave that anywhere means 0.0. Usually in real time we won't give the 0.0. Remember this point, in real time we won't give the 0.0. In case if you tell in interview level we gave 0.0, they can easy to know, okay, that person is not work real time. They can easy to identify. Okay, understand, right? But practice purpose, you can give it. Usually in real time, we will be give the custom, and then if, in case if you are using client VPN or Cisco, then we will be give example your entire organization VPC CAD range is 10 series. Okay, then we'll be give it 10.0.0.8 like that. Okay, but in our practice purpose, I'm giving here anywhere. Fine. Now you can come down, and here I'm giving that at least 150 GB. Okay, and then here GP3 only. Now I'm going to launch the instance. Okay, clear, right? Any questions here? If you see here, that's secret group is already exist. That's why it is throwing the error. Let me edit this. Let me edit, and you can go here, select the existing one, and then here I'm selected SonarQube. Okay, now you can give it. Fine. Now you can launch the instance. Okay, any questions now? Now server is launching. It will take around 30 seconds to 1 minute to open running. Okay, we can wait for that. Okay, if you see here, the server is running, and then you can select this one. First, I'm going to connect this server. Okay, for that one you can select this, and I'm already open this CMD SSH-I. Okay, infra.fm and EC-user. EC-user, and then you can give it this one. Where is that? Not yet copied. Let me copy this. Okay, then you can enter now. Okay, now here is asking yes, can give it. Okay, now we need to give it sudo su -. Okay, fine. Now you understood, right? I have connected the server. Now what you have to do? Now you can go to that documentation. We already written, right? This part is clear. And here you have to remember, if you are installing SonarQube 7.1 above version, okay, you have to be run the SonarQube different user instead of root user. If you run it in the root user, right, what will happen? This particular Elasticsearch cannot run in the root user. If the Elasticsearch not running, SonarQube, it won't be up. That's why what you have to do, we'll be create the user, and then we'll be do that. And the next one, right, I'm going to the documentation and this particular downloads one. Now you can click this one, and then here you can come down a little bit. Here we can see that 8. There are a lot of versions, and here we are going to be installed in the 8.9.10. Okay, 8.9.10 we are going to be installed. In real time also we are using mostly in 8.9.10 only. Okay, fine. Now this part, what you have to do, now you can right click, copy link address, and then if you go here, now here I'm going to that OPT directory. Okay, now here you can give it. Now you can give the wget command, and then you can give it. If you see here, until .zip file, Remaining you can remove it. I'm going to remove remaining. Only we required .zip. Okay, just a .zip. Okay, .zip. Now enter. Now what will happen? It will be download the specific zip file. Okay, super. This part is clear, right? Now what you have to do, whatever we are selecting 8.9.10, we require the Java version. If you go here, our whatever we are going to download this specific one, we need to install Java. The particular version is Java 11. 8.9, the SonarQube 8.9.10, it will be we required at least Java 11. So I'm going to install the Java 11. Now you can copy this one. Okay. Now you can go here and then first I'm installing the Java, enter. Now what will happen, right? It will be install the Java 11 version. Okay. Once we install, we already downloaded. Then what you have to do? We need to unzip it. If you see here, we need to unzip it using unzip command. Okay, if you are not aware this Linux related command, please have a look our Linux course so that you will get some idea. Okay, fine. Now if you see here, it is installed. Now I'm checking that whether it is installed or not. Java version. Enter. Now if you see here, it is installed. Okay, now what you have to do? Now you can go here /opt and then you can give ll command and here we can see that .zip file. Now I'm giving that unzip command, unzip SonarQube. Now you can enter. Now if you see here, it is unzipping. You already there, right? Aware, right? If you have a zip file, right? If you unzip, whatever there inside, it will be exposed. If you see here ll command and here we can see the specific one. Now what I'm going to do, if you see here, this particular name is folder, directory name is very lengthy, right? But I don't want to be including version. Just what I'm going to give it, I'm going to give it instead of SonarQube 8.9.10. I'm going to give it just SonarQube. Okay. Now if you give ll command, here you can see that SonarQube. Understand, right? We rename to SonarQube 8.9.10 to just we rename to SonarQube. Okay. Clear, right? Any questions? Now you can go to the documentation. If you see here, we have renamed that particular one. Now what I'm going to do, before going to create the user, I'm going to explain what are the things inside available. We can see that. Okay. Now you can go here, SonarQube. Now you can give the ll command and here we can see that there are a lot of folders available. Now we can go with one by one. First thing is bin directory. Remember, not only SonarQube, any tool, bin directory, it is contained that whether you want to be start, stop, those things is available inside this particular bin directory. Binaries is available. Okay. Now you can go here, ll command, cd bin, and then you can give the ll command. And here we can see that Linux, Windows, Mac, everything. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to Linux because this is our Linux, right? You can go here. You can give the ll command. And here we can see that sonar.sh file. Okay. Now you can go with open that sonar.sh. Inside the sonar.sh, it contains that shell script. Okay. Using this one only, we can start, stop, restart, whatever you want, we can do that. You can come down a little bit. I can show you. Okay. What are the options available? Yeah, come down. Okay. Yeah, it is coming. It is a lengthy one. Okay. 82% is completed. Now, if you see here we have options, console, start, stop, force, restart, status, dump. Okay, there are multiple options available. Okay, in case if you want to be start, just we can give it this shell script, right? How do we do? sh sonar.sh, and then you can give the enter so that it will automatically give the sub commands or what you need to be paused when you are running this particular one. Okay, I will start later part, but just I have showcase. Now you can come back 2 steps. And then here you can see that ll command. And then now I'm going to the config directory. Let's see what are the things available. Inside the config directory, we have a sonar.properties. Remember, inside the sonar.properties, we can configure our database related information. If you see here you can define that database related Oracle, it will support. Okay, default one is embedded database only. But later part of what I will do, right? I will show you how do we integrate with PostgreSQL. Okay, and also it will be support MySQL as well. There are a lot of things it will be support. Now you can come down a little bit, and in case as you said, right, the default port number for SonarQube is 9000, right? If you see here 9000. In case if you want to be change it, you have to come to the sonar.properties file and we can modify the port number. But default is 9000. Okay, understand, right? Later I will show you how do we integrate what is that? PostgreSQL as well. Okay. And also if you want to do any SSO authentication, LDAP configuration, you can do that. Everything is possible here. Please have a look. Okay. Fine. Now, any questions now? Now, wrapper.config, we don't require, just leave it. Now you can come back. You can give the LL, and then I'm going to the data. Here you can see the data information. Currently, we don't have. Just come back. CD, LL, sorry, LL. And then here I'm going to the cat dependency license.json. Here we can see that what are the information related to what is the URL, what is the name of whether license, where it is coming. Okay, everything you can see it here, but we don't touch this particular one, just leave it. On the Elasticsearch, remember, usually the SonarQube depends on this Elasticsearch only. If Elasticsearch not running, enter SonarQube won't be run. Okay, and also initially as said, right, we have to be run this SonarQube in the non-root user. If you run it in the root user, the Elastic search will be throw the error. Then what will happen? It won't be run it. I will show you what error you will get it. Okay, and in this Elasticsearch also we have a what is that? Sorry, Elasticsearch. You can give the LL, and here you can see that the bin directory config everything we have. We won't be touch much this one. You can ignore this, and then you can come here. And extensions, if you have any extensions related one, you can see it here. Example, JDBC driver. Okay, some other things, plugins related, everything we can configure here. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Now I can go here, go up little bit, CD, you can give the LL. And then coming to the lib directory, you already have, right? Any tool, lib directory, it contains the libraries, jar files. If you see here we can see the jar file related to Sonar application, Sonar shutdowner. There are multiple. In case if you want to add any jar files here, you can do that one. Okay, now I can come back one step. And then what is the next one? LL. And then logs. Currently, you can't see any logs. If you see here, logs are empty only. The reason we haven't started, that's why it is, you are not seeing any logs. Now you can go back one step. And then what is the next one? What is the next one? Next one, you can see it here, temp directory. In temp directory, you can see the temporary files, but currently we don't see anything. Once you start a write, you can see that. And also web directory. In this web directory, it is related to SonarQube web related one, web icon info, everything. This one also we won't be touch it. Okay, default whatever came from SonarQube, right? We will be keep it same only. Okay, clear, super. Any questions now? This part is clear, right? Now what I'm going to do? First, I will be start the SonarQube. Okay, whatever you will get it, we can see that. Later, I will be create the user, and then we can do that. First, I'm going to the bin directory. Okay, and then in our case, Linux, right? Go to the Linux and give the LL command. First, if you want to be run it the shell script, there are two options. One is you can give the sh, or you can give the /. You can give the /. Okay. Sonar.sh, and you can give the status. If you want to check the status, you can do that. Now I'm checking that start as well. Okay. Now if you see here, it is showing the started, but I'm checking the status. It is showing that it is running. Okay, super. Very interesting. Usually it should not be run because the particular Elasticsearch, it won't be run it in the root user, but still it is running. Very good. But it is not recommended. What we will do, right? We'll be, let me check it. Is it really running? Usually it should not. Yeah, if you see here, it is not running. Initially, when we run, immediately it's showing that running, but later part is automatically shut down. Now we can check the logs as well. For that one, right, I'm going to open another tab. And here I'm connecting again that particular server. Okay. SSH-i infra.pem ec2-user. Okay. Now you can go to that EC2. Copy this one. Paste here, enter. Okay, now we can go to sudo su-. Now increase the font size. Now I'm going to check it opt SonarQube log directory. Now here you can see that es.log and sonar.log. Remember, first I'm checking that cat sonar.logs. Let's see. If you see here, it is throwing the error that particular, as I said, right, Elasticsearch run cannot run as Elasticsearch as a root. Okay, fine. If you go and check it in the cat es.logs, if you see here, also it will throw the same error only. If you see here in the Elasticsearch logs also cannot run Elasticsearch as a root. Okay, understand, right? That's why just I wanted to show you. That's why I run that. And then now I'm going to, what I'm going to do, I'm going to the documentation. Now we can, what is that? See that. First, I'm going to create the user. For that one, either you can use add user or user add. Any command you can use it to create the user. Understood, right? Again, I'm repeating why we got that, why SonarQube is not running. That Elasticsearch from SonarQube 7.1, that Elasticsearch should not be run it in the root user. It won't be work. For that one, what we have to do, we need to create the user and we need to change the ownership of that particular SonarQube directory, and then we can run it. Then it will be work. Okay. Now what I'm giving here, /opt. Okay. Now I'm giving user at Sonar. Okay. Now I'm checking whether it is created or not. ID Sonar. Now if you see here, it is created. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, go to the documentation. This part is clear. ID is check, and I'm going to set the password as well. passwd Sonar. Okay. Now enter. Now here it is expecting Sonar. Okay. Now it is successfully done. Any questions here? Now what we need to do, we need to change the ownership. Currently, if you see here, LL command, currently this particular SonarQube is running in the root user. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it. How do we do? For that one, ch1, change owner, -r, okay, Sonar user, Sonar group, okay, and then what is the folder? Sonar. Why we have given that -r? If you give the -r recursively, it means any subdirectory subfiles also, it will be apply the sonar:/sonar. Okay, now you can enter. Now if you see here, if you give the LL command, and here we can see that sonar. Okay, clear, right? This part is clear, right? Now what we have to do, go to the documentation once. Now inside this particular opt SonarQube bin directory Linux sonar.sh, we have a sonar.sh. There what you have to do, we need to run as a user. We need to uncomment that particular run as a user to SonarQube. We need to update the SonarQube. By default, it will run it in the root user. We need to update this particular one. Here you have to remember our 8.9.10, this option is available. But later version, it is not available. Then what you have to do, you need to switch from root user to Sonar user and you need to run it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to here /opt SonarQube bin directory Linux. Okay. Now you can give the LL VAM sonar.sh, enter / okay, and run. Yeah, if you see here, run as a user. Now you can enter insert mode. Now you can remove that hash. I have removed that. Now here I'm mentioning that Sonar. It now means it will be run it in the Sonar user instead of root user. Okay, now you can save it. Okay, now you can save this one. Okay, super. Now if you see here LL command, sorry. Now what you can do, now we can run this particular one so that it will be running. Sonar. Now I'm running restart. Let's see whether it will run or not. Okay, restart. Okay, now it is restarted. Now I'm checking the status. Remember, if you check immediately, it will show that running only. Okay, later you have to wait for a few seconds to run it. If you see here, still it is running. It means it is not down. Okay, super. Any questions here? Understood, right? Now I'm going to check the logs as well. Go here and you can give the LL command. First I'm checking here tail -f, not tail, cat command. Cat sonar this particular logs. If you see here, Sonar is working fine. I don't see any issue as well. Everything looks good. Earlier we got that this particular one. Later we fixed it. And then now if you see here, default administrator credentials are still being used. We need to be changed that particular credentials. We will be do that. Okay. Now here we can see that the specific process also up and running. Okay. Everything you can see it here. Elasticsearch also up and running here. Understood, right? Once we change from root user to specific user, we can able to run the particular one. Okay. Any questions here? Now what I'm going to do? Now you can go here. This part is clear. Now you can give it here. Now again, I'm checking status. Now you can see it here still running. And one more thing, remember, in case if you have any access related issues, you need to come here, access.log, you can check it. Okay. And if you want to check a CE logs also, compute engine logs also, you can come here and you can check it. ESL, Elasticsearch logs also, you can come here and you can check it. Web related, if you want to, you can come here and you can check it. The path is this one only. Remember guys, for Linux or Windows, common only. For Linux, it is OPT. For Windows, wherever we download it. Okay. OPT SonarQube logs. Inside, we can see it here. Okay. Any questions here so far? All right. Any questions here? No. Fine. Super. Now we have started. That is fine. Now you can go here. Now this part is clear. In case if you are getting any issues, temp directory is the issue in the logs. What you have to do, you need to delete the temp directory inside this particular folder. Okay. Understand that this particular OPT, Sonar or SonarQube, whatever we mentioned that. Fine. Now you can see here, we check the status. Okay. And also remember one thing, in case still you are getting, in case if the run as a user parameter is not added in this particular sonar.sh file, as I said, right? In the latest version, this option, it won't be available inside the sonar.sh. Then what you have to do, we need to switch to sonar user and then we need to run this particular command. But in our case, 8.9.10, we don't require the particular run as a user. It is already exist. Just you can go there and you need to update there. Okay. And in case if you want to be stopped, if you can do that one, ss sonar.sh, sonar.sh restart. Okay. Now if you see here, I'm taking this particular IP, public IP, and then here I'm going here. What is the port number? Port number is 9000, right? Now you can enter. If you see here, when I am trying to access public IP port number, I'm not able to do. The reason, we need to enable the port number. Where do we enable? You can select the specific server, go to the security, okay, and then here you can see that security group, here SonarQube-SG, select this one, and then here we need to enable the port number 9000. Okay, similar to what we did for JFrog and Nexus, right? Similarly, we need to allow port number, custom TCP, and here I'm giving that 9000. Okay, and then here you can give it. Here we can give it. For practicing purpose, we are giving 0.0, but in real time, we'll pick your CADR range. Okay, now you can give it. Now you can save this one. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Any questions now? Super. Now we can go here. Just refresh this page. Let's say now if you see here, we are able to access our SonarQube. Okay. Now here the default username is admin. Password also admin. Okay. Now you can enter login. Okay. Now here you have you click this particular one, and also I'm going to show you the logs as well. I'm giving here tile. So if you give the tile -f, right, you can see that the live log. Enter. Now you can enter here so that we can see it. If you see here, SonarQube is also up. Everything's fine. Now here I'm asking old password. Old password is admin only. And now I'm giving that new password. Okay. Okay. Now I can save it, update. Understood, right? Now it is updated. If you go and check it, check the logs, right? It is not yet written. In case if anything, you can see it here. Okay. Now you can able to access it. Any questions here now? Now, any questions here? Now we have installed it, and also we reset the password as well. Everything looks good. And also here you can see that your user, everything. I will discuss some more details like SonarQube, what are the options available, everything later part. Okay. And here you have to remember one thing. Usually every time we are going this location, where every time we are going this particular bin directory, this particular location, and we are stop the service, right? But in case someone is restarted the server, what will happen? Again, you have to come this particular location, and you need to log into the server, and you need to come to this particular location, and you need to start it. Again, you have to do, correct? But instead of that one, if you set up the service level, okay, what you can do, right? If you set up the service level, even if you rebooted the server, it is automatically SonarQube will up and running. When you enable the service level, it will be up and running. That is the one option. Second advantage, right? If you set up the service level, you don't require to come to the bin directory, start or stop. You can run it, you can stop or start, restart that SonarQube from anywhere. not only SonarQube, any tool, same process only. Okay. Example, JFrog, Nexus, anything, same process only. For that one, you can go to the documentation. Let's see. And here we enable the port number. In case if it is on-prem server, we need to be run this command. If it is AWS, I already said, right, in the secret group, we need to enable the port number. We have access to our SonarQube as well. And the default username is admin. Default password also admin. We set the change the password as well. So far, this is done. And now what we are going to do, we are going to set up the service level. If you see here you can see the description, SonarQube service after network.target. Similar, same thing we did for Nexus, right? We gave that here Nexus. And then type service. Type is forking. Limit number of files is maximum is 65,536. Just keep it same. And here most important, this particular username and group, if you are not mentioning, what will happen? It will default, it will take the root user. But in our case, we are running in the Sonar user, right? That's why we mentioned that here user is Sonar, group also Sonar. Okay. And the next one is exe start. Exe start is nothing but execute start. Here, if you remember, usually what we are going inside this particular path, and then we are giving that sh start, right? Same thing. Instead of going there, here we are mentioning that when you are running systemctl start, it will be run this particular one. Same thing, execute stop as well. Here opt SonarQube bin directory, this particular Linux on and sonar.sh stop. Okay, clear, right? And then restart is equal to on upload. Okay, and install this particular same only. Now where we need to create it? For that one, you can go here. Remember, any service, if you are setting up service level, what you have to do, you can go to the etc systemd. Okay, systemd. Now you can give the LL, and here you can see there are a lot of. Now here what I'm going to do, if you see here again path guys, etc systemd system. Okay, now here VAM. Okay, VAM, and then here I'm giving that Sonar, right? Sonar.service or SonarQube.service, whatever. Now enter insert mode. Now you can go here documentation. Just copy this this one SonarQube or Sonar. Let me give the SonarQube so that you won't be confused. Okay, VAM SonarQube.service. Okay, SonarQube.service. Enter insert mode, and then here you can give it this particular whatever we copied. Okay, now you can save this one. Okay, super. Now if you see here LL command, and here we can see that this one. Now if you observe here, now it is running in the root user. But in our case, our SonarQube is running in the Sonar user, right? Now we need to change from root user to Sonar user for this particular SonarQube.service. How do we do? For that one, now you can go here, ch1 Sonar SonarQube.service. Now you can enter. Now if you see here LL command, and here we can see that this specific one. And also next one, if you observe here, this particular Sonar.service. Okay, here we have only read-write permissions only. We don't have read-write execute permissions. Then what you have to do? I'm going to give it ch1, sorry, ch mode 777. I'm giving SonarQube.sh, SonarQube.service. Now if you see here, and here we can see that SonarQube.service. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Now you can come down a little bit. This what we already done that, and also we gave that permissions as well. That is super. And the next one, right? When you are running any SonarQube service, okay, first thing what you have to do in bin directory. Okay, if you already started from bin directory, first you need to stop that particular one. Understand, right? Now what I'm going to do, go to that OPT. Okay, SonarQube bin directory Linux, and then what we have to do here, we already run it, right? sh sonar.sh, and then first you need to stop this particular one. Now if you see here, gracefully stopping SonarQube. It is stopped the SonarQube. Now if you go and check it here, right? Just check this one, Sonar, and then you can give that status, and here you can see that it is not running. First thing you have to do this particular one. If it is running already in the bin directory, if you are trying to start from service level, right? What will happen? It won't be running. It will show that failed one. Okay. First, you have to be stop it in the bin directory. Okay, super. Now what you have to do? Now, first I'm checking the systemctl status SonarQube.service. Enter. Systemctl status SonarQube.service. If you see here, it is showing that inactive. As I said earlier, if you are setting up a service level, first thing what you have to do, you need to enable that particular service. Why do we enable that particular service? Example, if someone is rebooted this particular server, or someone is stopped and start the server, what will happen? If you set up the service as a, if you enable the service, then what will happen, right? You don't require to log into the SonarQube server again. You don't require to start the service. It is automatically up and running. Okay. For that one, just give it systemctl. Okay. And then enable. And then I'm giving that SonarQube. Now enter. If you see here, when you give this systemctl enable SonarQube.service, and here you can see that create symbolic link. Okay. For this particular one, it is created a symbolic link. Even if someone is stopped and started also, automatically you don't require to log into the server and start this particular service. It is automatically up and running. Okay. Now here I'm giving systemctl and start SonarQube.service. Now you can enter. Let's see. Now I'm checking that systemctl status SonarQube.service. Now if you see here, it is showing that active running also. Okay. Active running. When you started, right? It is reading from this particular one. If you see here, execute start, it is running from this particular one. And then SonarQube is services, everything's fine, started. Okay, we don't see any issues. Now what you have to do? Now you can cancel this one. Now you can go to that console and then just refresh this page. Whether you are able to access or not, we can see it. Now if you see here, and here you need to give it username admin. What is the password? Password is admin@. Whatever you give the password, you need to enter. Now if you see here, I'm able to access it. Now understood, right? If you observe one thing, I'm in the root. If you see here, I'm in the root directory, but I'm able to start from using systemctl from anywhere. I don't require to go to the bin directory and start or stop. Okay, that is the major advantage. Again, I'm repeating, when you set up the service level, there are two advantages. One is you don't require to go to the every time bin directory start or stop that particular one. Second option is you can second option is in case someone is rebooted the server or stopped or start the server, you don't require to log into the server and start again. Everything we can achieve using systemctl. That is a service level. First, we will be enabling it, and then we'll be start from anywhere. Systemctl start, restart, stop, everything. Okay. Now, if you go here, documentation, and then you can come down. In case if you want to be start, you can do that. There are two options, guys. One is we can use systemctl. Second one is we can use a service as well. Remember, even if you use service Sonar or SonarQube start, what will happen, right? It is automatically, remember, it is automatically redirect to systemctl only. Okay. Similar to status also, fine. And if you want to be restart, you can do this one as well, restart. Okay. Yeah, congratulations. You have successfully installed the SonarQube on Linux server and accessed it using IP address. And here you have to remember one thing. In real time, we won't be accessed using IP address : port number. First thing, whether it is public or private. If you say in interview level, hey, they may ask question, hey, Murli, how do you access SonarQube in real time? If we say like, hey, we access using public IP : port number, they can easy to identify, okay, this person is not working in the real time. Okay, they can easy to identify. The reason in real time, we won't be accessing using public or private IP : port number. That is the one thing. Second thing is, in real time, we always accessing using secure one only. It is not like not secure. If you see here, not secure. Secure one means, if you go and check it here, right, this is the secure one. We are accessing using HTTPS. If you see here, HTTPS. Understand, right? So what I will do, later video, I will show you how do we accessing SonarQube using DNS name instead of IP address. Okay. Again, I'm repeating, please don't tell in interview level, we accessed using public IP or private IP : port number. We always accessing using DNS name only. Second thing, in real time, we won't be install SonarQube on not only SonarQube, any tools, DevOps tools in public subnets. We always create in the private subnet only. And also I have covered that particular private concept where exactly we can do in the techworldwithmurali website. Here we have a DevOps hands-on real-time project. There I have showcased that how do we access private network, client VPN, everything. Please have a look if you want. Okay. But remember, this is the one of the most important. Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about accessing SonarQube using the DNS name. Example, https sonarcube.techworldwithmurali.in. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right? If you remember earlier, we set up that SonarQube and we are able to access using IP address colon port number. But the reality in real time, we won't be used like this. We always accessing using like this. Example, sonarcube.techworldwithmurali.in. Okay, how do we do? For that one, right? If you go here, documentation, and here we have a accessing SonarQube using DNS name. Now you can click this one, and here I have defined that step-by-step process. First step, right? We need to create the target group. Okay, we need to create the target group, and then we need to allow that port number 9000, and we need to attach the particular instance with port number 9000, and then we need to set the health check path. Okay, the particular target group, right? I'm going to give the SonarQube-TC. Okay, remember, if you want to be accessed using DNS name like this, first what you have to do, you need to create the load balancer. If you want to be create the load balancer, you require the target group. What type of target group you want to be create, whether it is application load balancer or network load balancer. So first we need to be create the target group. Now what I'm going to do, we can go here, go to that AWS, in left side come down, and here we can see that inside the EC2, right? Here we can see the target groups. You can click this one. Now here we can see that we already earlier we saw that, right? Nexus related. Now I'm going to create the target group for SonarQube. And here we have a different types, target types, instances, IP address, Lambda function, application load balancer. And here I'm giving that SonarQube-TG. TG is nothing but target group. Okay. And then protocol is either HTTP or HTTPS. And here we can see that HTTP application load balancer, HTTPS application load balancer. Now you can select the HTTP. Now here very most important, where you install the SonarQube, in the same VPC only you need to create the target group as well. Now you can select that infra VPC target group, and here we can see that protocol version is HTTP one, that is fine. And then you can come down, and here most important health check protocol, right? Whether HTTP or HTTPS, just give the HTTP, and here we can see that health check path, right? Usually each and every application we may have different health check path, but in our case, SonarQube, it will be support the slash. Health check path is slash is fine. It should be fine. It will be work. Okay, just give the slash. And in case if you want to be add additional advanced health check settings, right? You can do, but default you can keep it same health check threshold, unhealthy threshold, timeout, interval, success scores, everything. Okay. Now you can go here. Now you can click the next, and then here you need to attach the EC2 instance. If you see here, I'm going to attach the SonarQube related one. And here, as I said, right, we need to give the our SonarQube port number. What is the SonarQube port number? 9000, right? Give the 9000 and include as pending below. And then you can click create a target group. Okay. Now you can click that create a target group. Okay. Now we have done this target group. It is going on. If you see here, it is created. And here we can see that target type is instance, and protocol port number, HTTP protocol version. And also here we can see that zero health, unhealthy, unused one, initial draining, everything. Here healthy means fine, unhealthy means might be the health check issue, and unused means still we created but we haven't attached to any load balancer. Then we can see that unused option. Initial means if it is attached the load balancer initial stage, right? It will show that initial. Okay, and then draining means it is deleting from this particular target group. Okay, and then here we can see that currently it is showing the unused. The reason we haven't attached this particular Sonar target group to the any of the load balancer. That's why. And remember one thing, when you create this target group, we selected that HTTP, that is for application load balancer. So this particular target group we can attach only application load balancer. Okay, now you can go to that load balancer here. Now currently earlier we created Nexus F in LBS this particular load balancer, right? Now I'm going to give it create and application load balancer, and then you can select this one. And here I'm giving that SonarQube -ALB. Okay, SonarQube-ALB, and then you can come here. There are two options, guys: internet facing and internal. Usually in real time we always create in the internal only. But our practice purpose, we are creating internet facing. The reason, if we create an internal, right, you required either client VPN, AWS client VPN, or Cisco, some other things. But in our case, we don't have. That's why I'm going to select that internet facing. But in real time, we always go with internal only. Okay. Fine. And here we can see the load balancer IP address type, whether IPv4 or IPv6 dual stack. Okay, dual stack without public IP, public IPv4. This is recently came. Just you can select the IPv4, that is fine. And here most important, where you created the target group, in the same target group only the specific VPC, right? Same VPC only you need to select infra VPC, and then you can come down and here you can select here, and then here you need to select that public subnet. Select this one. Same thing for here as well. Public subnet. Okay, I have selected both public subnet only. Okay, super. Now that why we have selected the public subnet? The reason, tell me. The reason when you create the application load balancer that is internet facing, you should be attach the public subnets only. Okay, and here I'm going to create that one security group. Go to create a security group, and here I'm going to create the security group for application load balancer. Okay, now here I'm giving that SonarQube -ALB-SZ. Okay, just same thing you can give it here. And here most important, wherever you are creating the load balancer, which VPC, same VPC only we need to create the security group as well. Now here we have infra VPC, right? Select the infra VPC, and here most important inbound rule. Okay, here you have to remember one thing, whether you are creating application load balancer internet or internal, you can enable port number HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, HTTP and HTTPS. Here you have to remember, not mandatory for HTTP. Okay, in case if you are accessing using HTTP URL, you have to give it. Or if you created the listener HTTP, you have to give it. Okay, but here I'm giving that HTTP and HTTPS. Best practice, you can allow both HTTP and HTTPS. If you see here, HTTP port number is 80, HTTPS port number is 443. And here source is customized one. And here remember, if you are creating for application load balancer internet facing, you have to give it 0.0. And in case if you are creating the internal load balancer, then you can give the internal CAD range. Example, your entire organization CAD range is 10 series. Just give it 10.0.0.0/8. It will cover everything. Okay, clear, right? Now here you can give it. Fine. Now you can come down. Outbound rule is fine. You can give it all traffic also. That is fine. Now you can, here I'm giving that name. Here I'm giving that SonarQube -ALB-SZ. Okay, fine. Now you can come down, create a security group. Now here you can see that security group is created. Now what you can do, now you can go here, just refresh this page, and then you can uncheck this one. Here you can give it SonarQube -ALB-SZ. Okay, now you can select this one. Now here most important, listeners, whether it is HTTP or HTTPS. First I'm attaching HTTP. Later we can attach HTTPS as well. Okay, now if you see here, HTTP port number 80, and here you need to select the SonarQube related one. Okay, select this one. Here you have to remember, one target group you can attach only one load balancer, but one load balancer we can attach multiple target groups. Understand, right? Same target group we can attach only one load balancer, but multiple target group we can attach single load balancer, and we can create a multiple listeners. That's what I'm telling. Okay, just I am giving that HTTP purpose SonarQube-TZ, and then you can come down. I'm going to create the load balancer. Usually it will take around 2 minutes to come up this one. Meanwhile, we can check it. What are the options available? First, you can see it here, right? Type is application load balancer. Here we selected internet facing, so we don't require any client VPN or Cisco to access this particular SonarQube. But again, I'm repeating, please don't tell in intro level we created the internet facing for SonarQube Nexus. Okay, they can easy to identify. You haven't worked in real time. Any DevOps tools will be created in the internal only. If you are not aware, please have a look our DevOps hands-on real-time project. There I have already published the real-time based one, accessing everything in the internal only. Okay, fine. Where is that? Yeah. Now here provisioning and which VPC, which subnets, IPv4, IPv6, dual stack when it was created, and then here you can see the load balancer ARN, and this is our DNS name. Just copy this one. I'm going to open that CMD. Okay, now you can open this. Now here I'm using the NS lookup to check it whether it is resolving or not. Remember, once you create, right, usually it will take 2 minutes to come up. Just I'm checking that whether it is resolving or not. If you see here, our SonarQube still showing that provisioning, but you are trying to resolving this particular the particular load balancer DNS name, it is showing that cannot find. Okay, we have to wait for that one. Now I can come down, and here we can see that listeners and rules. And here you have to remember, if you are creating the application load balancer, here you can create the listeners. One is 80, second one is 443. 80 usually it is HTTP, 443 it is used for HTTPS. Okay, now here you can see that networking mapping, and here we can see the which VPC, which subnets, everything. Resource maps, here we can see the what are the resource maps available. And security, you can go with here security group as well. Monitoring, and here we can see that monitoring as well. Okay, target response time, request rule evaluations, everything, integrations as well, attributes, and here you can see that attributes as well. Okay, you can please have a look, and if you are not aware this all the options, please have a look our course, AWS course, so that you will get some idea. I already covered everything there. Okay, fine, super. Any questions now? Any questions now? Now still it is creating. We can wait for a couple of 2 more minutes, one more minute, so that we can. Now you can go here. And you may ask question, Murli, why in real time we may not be use public IP colon port number? The reason, right? The public or private IP. IP might be changed, first thing. And also, if you use this IP address, right, you will be accessing, it is showing that not secure. You can't access using HTTPS when you are accessing using public or private IP. That is also second problem. Okay. Third thing, right? Highly recommend always. Very difficult to remember these particular IPs. Okay, whether this IP or some other IP is very difficult. That's why we always go with the DNS name. This DNS name is easy to understand, right, everyone? Hey, I can tell, hey, Murli, what is the SonarQube URL? I can tell simply sonarcube.techworldwithmurali. Sorry, Telugu DevOps, Telugu, yeah, techworldwithmurali.in. Okay, clear, right? Fine, super. Now what you have to do? Go here. This part is clear, created, load balancer, and then HTTP only. I will add it to HTTP later sometime. Let me wait for this, check it, whether it is created fully or not. Just refresh this page, and then here you can see that it is active. Now, if you go here, now you can go ahead and run this NS lookup. Now, if you see here, it is resolving. Here we see the 2 IPs, that is public IPs, because we created application load balancer internet facing. That's why it is created 2 IPs. Second thing is we have attached only 2 subnets, right? During that time, that's why you got 2 IPs. Okay, clear, super. Now here, if you see here, I can access using this particular DNS name as well. If you go here, I'm going to click this one. I don't require to give it IP address. The reason in target group, we already give it 9000 port number. That's why you can directly accessing using this particular load balancer DNS name. But still load balancer DNS name also, there are drawback. One is it is not secure. Second one is very difficult to remember this particular DNS name as well. For that one, what you have to do, we need to access using same DNS name. Then what you can do, we can add this particular SonarQube URL to the Route 53. Now what I'm going to, load balancer DNS name to the Route 53. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to the Route 53 here. Okay. I'm going to the Route 53 here. Click this one. Now here, I'm going to create the record, a record. Okay. We already having that hosted zone. That hosted zone is techworldwithmurali, techworldwithmurali.in. Now you can click this one. Now you can come down. Currently, we don't have any SonarQube related. Let me check it. 1 second. Here, I'm going to create the record, create a record. And here I'm giving that SonarQube. Okay. SonarQube.techworldwithmurali.in. And here we creating the a record alias. Okay. And here you can select that application load balancer or classic load balancer. And here you need to select that region, that is the North Virginia. Okay. And here you have to select your load balancer. If you see here, our load balancer is SonarQube-LB, and then simple routing only, just create the record. Now, if you see here, the record is created. Now I need to check whether it is resolved or not. For that one, you can go here and let's look up. Okay. SonarQube dot techworldwithmurali, techworldwithmurali.in. If you see here, enter, and here we can see that it is resolving. It means you can able to access using this particular one only. Now what you can do is just select this one, SonarQube, just copy this URL, go here. Earlier we access using load balancer DNS name, but it's very lengthy, very difficult to understand, remember. Just you can go with sonarcube.techworldwithmurali.in. If you see here, if you go with sonarcube.techworldwithmurali.in, just remove that HTTPS, just see how to give the HTTP, because we added only listener is 80. Okay, now if you see here, sonarcube.techworldwithmurali.in, I'm able to access it, but still this URL I'm able to remember, but still it is showing that not secure. Then what you have to do? For that one, in the load balancer, again I'm repeating, I have updated the load balancer DNS name in the Route 53. That is fine, well and good. Okay, but still it is showing that not secure. The reason, in the load balancer, listeners, if you observe here we have a only HTTP. Then what you have to do? We need to create the listener HTTPS as well. Add listener. Okay, and then here you can select that HTTPS, and then here you can select 443, and then forward to target group. Here you need to select your target group that is related to SonarQube-TZ. Select this one, and here security category, just default recommended one you can select. And here most important, if you want to be create that HTTPS, you require the certificate, either ACM or from IAM or import certificate. Usually, highly recommend, we always use in real time from ACM only. And here, if you see here, we already having the ACM, that is techworldwithmurali.in. Now, what I'm going to do, select this one, just go ahead and add this one. If you see here, I have added. If you see here, we have added this particular HTTPS. Someone is hit that HTTP URL, it will automatically redirect to SonarQube-TZ. Okay, now what we have to do, I'm going to show you that ACM, whether it is created or not. If you see here, certificate manager. Okay, this all whatever I'm explaining, this EC2 auto scaling group, Route 53, load balancer, everything, right? It is in the AWS concepts. Please have a look at AWS so that you will get more idea. Okay, and here we can see that techworldwithmurali.in. Now you can select this one. Okay, now if you see here, techworldwithmurali.in and star.techworldwithmurali.in. Star means any subdomain also. Example, sonarcube.techworldwithmurali.in, jfrog.techworldwithmurali.in. Everything it will be cover this particular certificate. Okay, here we selected the DNS resolution. Okay, DNS resolution. So that is that particular CNAME is already created in the Route 53. We already having the Route 53, right? Inside the Route 53 only. If you see here, this is the CNAME. This particular CNAME related to that particular ACM. It is automatically updated. Now what you can write, if you go and check it here, example, select this one. If you give the HTTPS, right? HTTPS, enter. Now you can able to access using HTTPS. If you see here, connection is secure and it is valid also. And here we can see that till February 16, 2026. Okay, understand that this is the process of setting up our SonarQube using HTTPS. And here you have to remember one thing, guys. Here you have to remember one thing. If you see here, I have given that HTTPS, I'm able to access it is secure one. In case if you give that HTTP, let me do one thing. Here I'm opening that incognito. Okay, and then here, instead of giving HTTPS, just I'm giving HTTP. Okay, HTTP sonarcube.techworldwithmurali.in. Okay, now enter. If you see here, okay, it is redirecting. Okay, it is taking that this one. What is that? Cache. Usually, right? It will show that still insecure only. Let me wait for 1 second. I'll be open that Firefox. Okay. Yeah, if you see here, I open that Firefox and I'm trying to access HTTP, but it is not redirecting to HTTPS. It is showing that not secure. The reason, right? The reason, even if you try with HTTP, it should be redirect to HTTPS. It's not like if you give the HTTP, it will give the HTTP URL, And if you type the HTTPS, it will be HTTPS, not like that. Even though if someone hit that just sonarcube.techworldwithmurali.in, it should be redirect to HTTPS only, not the HTTP. How do we do? Why it is still showing that not secure? The reason, right? If you go and check it here in the load balancer, if you go here in the load balancer, if you go and check that listener 80, if you see here, this particular listener 80, if someone hit that HTTP URL, just it will be forwarding to this particular target group. That's why even in this particular Firefox, if I hit that HTTP URL, just it is showing that not secure. But in the reality, right, we always, this particular HTTP, we need to redirect from, if someone hit that HTTP, it should be redirect from HTTP to HTTPS automatically. How do we do? Just select this one. Okay, go to here, listener, select this listener, go to the actions, edit rule. Okay, and then here I'm select this HTTP 80 only. Instead of forwarding to target group, what you have to do, you need to select that redirect to URL. It means if someone hit that HTTP, automatically it will be redirect to HTTPS. And here I'm giving that HTTPS 443 and status code you can give it 301. That is fine. Just save changes. Now what will happen? It is done. Now if you go and check it here, right? Just maybe it will take catchy, but still, let me do that. You can open this. Now, still it is taking the catchy. Usually, right, it will automatically redirect to HTTPS only. Okay. Wait for a few seconds, or else let me open here so that if you see here, I'm giving that HTTP only. Just you can check it whether it is redirecting HTTPS or not. If you see here, it is automatically redirect to HTTPS, even though I gave that HTTP. Okay, understood, right? This is the process of setting up, accessing our SonarQube using DNS name instead of IP address or instead of load balancer DNS name. I have showcased 3 ways. What is the drawback of IP address? What is the drawback of LB? And also what is the drawback of if you are not adding any HTTPS listener? So what is the drawback? And also I have showcased that. And also HTTP, if you forward, what will happen? That's why we mentioned that in the HTTP listener rule, we mentioned that HTTP redirect automatically. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Any questions now? Again, I'm repeating, in real time, we always accessing using DNS name only. Again, I'm repeating, please don't tell we access using public IP or private IP, first thing. Second thing is, please don't tell we have created the SonarQube DevOps related tools in the public subnet. We won't be creating the public subnet. We always create in the private subnet only. Okay, our practice purpose I have created. In case if you want to know how we can create in the private subnets, please have a look our DevOps hands-on real-time project. Here I already covered entire private part only. Inside that in real time, right? We'll be creating the private network. How do we connect? How do we access our client VPN? Everything I have covered here. Please have a look there if you want. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me by LinkedIn, Instagram, Telegram. And also we have a Tech World with Murali website. In this website, I already publish all the DevOps related courses. Here we have 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year plans available. If you are planning to enroll, you can enroll here. If you have any question, feel free to comment. I will try to respond as soon as possible. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next video.